Hi guys, Lady Yoga here, and this is Yoga Quickies, the show where you tell us what you want out of your yoga or fitness routine, and we deliver it to you in 5 minutes or less. I'm so lucky to be here with my friend Krissy Shields in the Garment District of New York, New York.
Love it.
It's so cold, but only in New York could you be like, I was running late here, like rushing to get to you. Could you be like freezing cold and also like sweating down your butt crack? I was like chain smoking yoga cigarettes, just trying to I'm the yoga teacher, like rushing to get here, can barely breathe, and then I'm like,
you made it.
layers. But I made it here, and I'm with this peaceful Maha Mama at the Om Factory. So Om Factory is a place in New York City where you can do aerial yoga and vinyasa yoga, and I'm actually gonna take an aerial yoga class after we do this. And Krissy is the founder of Maha Mama, which is an all-encompassing, I'm pregnant, prenatal, postnatal, and she did a prenatal yoga quickie with us, and now we're gonna do a postnatal yoga quickie where you can do, when your kid's taking a nap, 5 minutes. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the journey for you with Maha Mama and postnatal, since we're gonna go right into it.
Yeah, I did my 500 hour with Dharma Mitra, and I was nursing my 1-year-old. She was 11 months when I started the 500 hour.
Wow.
And it was the first time that I really put my oxygen mask back on. Because for that
Nice.
11 months, I considered myself postnatal.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't acting like I was postnatal. I was completely devoting myself to this little human being, as I feel like we do when we get the privilege to do as moms. But I was finally taking care of myself. And then when I had my second baby, I did my pre and postnatal training with Gurmukh at the Causeway, and I was nursing my 1-year-old then.
Yeah.
So it's such a vital time. We don't honor it in this country. And we know from getting 6 weeks, if you get 6 weeks paid maternity leave, which is abysmal.
Right.
We have the lowest rate as far as in the entire world. I think New Guinea and us are the lowest. I think that's, in terms of compensation.
Yeah.
When you
And
have
if
a
you work
baby.
for yourself, forget it.
And if you work for yourself, forget it.
Yeah.
You have nothing. And so I was running around the city and not really taking care of myself. So it's really important for me to get the message out of radical self-care. Take care of yourselves. Because I remember sitting for the first time after my second child, where it threw me. I was like, one baby, I was like, I think I got this, I think I got this. And the second baby came and I was like my head was spinning. I had no idea. There's no manual as to how to do this. And I sat for the first time.
Too.
Yeah, everyone's different, and everyone's help is different. And a lot of us are displaced. We don't live with our parents. We don't live with our aunties and our cousins and our sisters anymore, where people can run over and help you so you can take a shower. And I had my mother-in-law live with me for a month, and that was it.
Awesome.
It was amazing. That was it.
3 months would have been perfect.
Yeah, 3 months would have been ideal. She's Persian, so it was cooking and cleaning and practically nursing my baby. It was so much love.
Is she available for anything else? Her number will be below.
But I sat for the first time and I felt like the edges of my skin were frayed.
Wow.
I was so wrung.
Yeah.
And I hadn't taken that time to replenish.
Well, isn't it amazing, even as a yoga teacher, you realize if you're a new yoga teacher and you're teaching a bunch of yoga classes or massage therapist, you're doing all this work with other people and you're depleted, you cannot take care or give to anyone else if this isn't running smoothly.
Totally. Which is why a daily sadhana is essential. For us as yoga teachers. And in my pre and postnatal training, it's part of the training to develop a daily sadhana. Because we can't serve, and we get really lucky, if we're good. We get really lucky with abundance of work, right? And then it's
But you can't phone it in, like you can't phone in being a mom.
No, because you see it, we see it. Kids see it. If you start working with kids, they see it.
Yeah.
And my baby showed to me, so I have a story. I
The
was
story too, guys.
I was with my baby. She was a few months. It was like May, April, May, and so I had like a 3-month-old, and then I had a toddler, like a 2-year-old. And I was going. I was like, we're gonna, and we're gonna, and we're gonna, and we're gonna. And by the time we got to the first gonna, I was in tears because I just tried to fit in too much.
Yeah.
And anyway, we just went back home, and I was frustrated and sad, and let them play, and I like curled up in a ball on them. Anyway, cut to the next morning. My daughter, 2 years old, comes up to me and she goes, "Mommy, now you do it." And I went, and I just started to cry. It was
nice.
It was like they get to be our teachers if we let them, if we show them this practice, right? If we practice this and we show them this practice, they get to be our teachers. They get to remind us. My daughter was just chanting Om Namah Shivaya, and I was like, oh yeah.
I think I need you with me all the time. It's hard. It's hard as a yoga teacher, and you think of being a yoga teacher like you're better. Oh no. And we haven't mastered anything, but it's the constant reminder.
It's a daily reprieve, but sometimes it's when we're pushed.
Right.
It's a sometimes hourly reprieve.
Yeah.
And that's why the practice is so important. The mental practice is so important towards the end of the pregnancy to gear us into parenting. Gurmukh tells this story, and it's been told a million times. A butterfly taken out of its cocoon cannot fly. Cannot fly. We need to work and work and work like that butterfly so that we can fly and flourish as moms. And I want to help you.
I love this so much. Even just being around you is like this halo of light, even though our lights aren't working so great today. But so we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. The concept of this show is that you guys write in and you tell us what you guys want to know, and we BS for a little bit, but I want to share with you the greatest teachers that I know in the country and in the world that I get to teach with. So, Krissy is a master, and I would imagine that any time that you even have the idea of, I'm going to be a mom, and the prep, there's a lot of stress involved. And if you can come from a place of clarity and intention with your yoga, this is the woman to study with and work with. And if you can get the 5 minutes, 5 minutes a day, or pepper it in through your day, it will be better than if you can separate and go to a studio and do an hour and a half. But if you do, this is the girl. So we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and we're going to do some work for after you've given birth. And this is for both ways of giving birth, right?
Yeah,
or even adoption.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. So there is something called diastasis rectus. It's the abdominal muscles, and in the center, when you grow, these abdominal muscles split. And some more severely than others, which is why when you're doing back bends, when you're pregnant, you want to really be mindful of engaging the upper portions, like hug the baby here and let the baby breathe and grow in down here. So you don't need to do sit-ups when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to just show is how to get up.
Okay.
So bring your knees together, come to the side, and then use your hands to come down. Right? And then come and roll onto your backs, right? So a lot of times we're taught, like, right, these sit-ups, and when our baby cries, we want to quickly get up and get our baby, right?
Yes.
No, not great for the diastasis. So you want to come to the side again to come up using your hands to bring you up.
You gotta crawl before you walk, kid.
Exactly. And the baby starts crying or it starts fussing, and especially our first baby, right? You want to get up and see what's going on and make sure everything is okay. And we jolt up, and that can cause some, don't worry, see your doctor. Unnecessary stress.
Okay.
Thank you.
It.
That is something to play with. Also, because sitting on your heels can help with any kind of, if you have incision or if you have any kind of tears. So you can come into, we could share this, because I didn't bring two over, into a nice little child's pose.
Okay.
So resting while the baby's resting is really nice. It might feel a little exposed, especially if you have hemorrhoids. And so you can bring it a little bit closer, and you could also slide, and I'll just do this now. Slide this so that it's supporting your seat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, come forward and then either have pillows or a blanket here. Now, breastfeeding is something to consider, or engorgement of the breast, even if you choose not to breastfeed. And so if you do come forward, there would be like a little space ideally here, right? And then space to rest here.
And you know what I love about you and your training is that you support all ways of mothering too, which I know can be difficult if it's like, oh, I choose this as a mother, I choose this.
I mean, there is scientific evidence and anthropological studies of mammalian nurturing that do benefit the babies. However, we live in a different society, and women are working more.
Yeah.
I mean, even 30 years ago, women are working more, and we need to support women who are working.
Right.
And that is essential. The other thing I really wanted to talk about is legs up the wall as a nice way. So if you're on your bed and your baby's sleeping, you could just slide your legs up on your headboard or on the wall behind your bed. Oh, I just did it wrong, right? So you want to come down like this.
Don't do that.
Don't do what I just did. And come and lay down, and then you could even, you know, bring the legs up. When you're in the last few months of pregnancy, you can have that little lift.
Okay.
And still do
underneath.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. But then when you're posting, you can lay on your back. It's just so delicious.
And I'm sure great for the circulation too.
Excellent for the circulation, but also put the baby on your belly.
Yeah.
Take off your shirt, skin to skin with the baby. And so delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
if it's difficult on a wall, you can just put your legs up, you know, in a bed or whatever.
On a bed,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, anything like that. And then also the meditation.
Yeah. So it's really more gentle focused postnatal. Yeah.
Oh yes, restore.
Restorative Replenish that energy so you can give it to the baby and yourself.
Exactly. And mindful, so like when we're laying in these postures, right, in a child's pose or legs up the wall or something that's really, you know, intentionally restorative, it's not
mind racing to the next thing. It's really take that time for yourself.
Be mindful, and a really simple way to be mindful is to just count your breathing. Inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 4, or place a mantra on that. So hum, I am that. I am this baby. I am this mama. You know.
And a calm, relaxed mama is that energy will translate. Oh, thanks, Timer. Will actually translate to the kid. I mean, if your kid is sensing your stress and wanting to feel it, I love that. It's a constant recycling energy, peace, bliss. We start them early. They'll stay, you know, they'll stay nice in traffic, in school,
it's so
with
true.
each other. I mean,
it's so true. I was doing my Dharma training, and I had to get a certain amount of time in, you know, to meditate every day. And I had this, you know, 11, 12-month-old, and I was still nursing her to sleep. And I would go and lay down, and I'd be like, let's go. I gotta get my meditation done, right? Like I'm rushing
to meditate. It's like when I see those people running across the street with their coffee and the yoga mat. I'm like, it's a skew. You're short circuiting.
And I started to do, it was a visualization on an image, and it was Amma, who's the great mama.
Yeah.
And I
will
would
actually put some of that her in front of downstairs. Down below.
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Lots going on downstairs. And I would nurse her, and I would look at this image on the back of the wall of Amma. And my baby in the beginning was like nursing and looking at me, so we had this beautiful connection, and then she'd be like, what is she looking at? And she'd be like, oh. And she got to know Amma. And then she came.
That's so cute.
She was asleep in like seconds.
Wow.
Compared to like me trying to get her to sleep.
Yeah.
It didn't work. But when I was doing my meditation while I was nursing, she was asleep, and then I was like, oh,
that makes sense.
I could go sleep now.
It's even more mindful.
Oh.
And you know what's funny is that even though we're mentioning some words and names and people that you might not have heard of if you don't practice yoga, this doesn't have to be called yoga or anything spiritual. It's just something to care for yourself. I mean, if you don't have an image of Amma, I know my mom, when she was giving birth and doing Lamaze, does that exist anymore?
Lamaze has changed.
It's changed. She would have an image of the dunes near the Jersey Shore, since we grew up on the East Coast. Yeah. The dunes and the air blowing through the dunes, and that image, that even that sound resonated with me too. I was like, oh, that's a very peaceful,
or a flower.
Yeah. Whatever gets you through.
Find something.
George Clooney. I mean, I don't know, anything that.
My girlfriend had a rock with her in her labor that all of her sisters had held.
Ah, that's
and
cool.
It was charged for her, and her husband, towards the end of her labor, said, "All of your sisters did this. You got this."
And then she threw it at the guy.
Oh my God. No,
just kidding, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, there's a stigma of what labor can be, and peaceful is one of those things that it is not out there, that labor can actually be a peaceful experience if we learn how to use our challenges and these practices mindfully and have some sort of equanimity within them.
Yeah. Well, that's why we need to spread the word, Maha Mama. Yeah. And I think it's great. I'm so grateful for you to join me. And all of her information, Krissy Shields, Maha Mama, and the beautiful Om Factory in New York, I wish I could stay here a lot longer, is all down below. Let us know what you need to know by subscribing below. Let us know what you're working on, what you're thinking about working on. Even if you've never had any experience with yoga or fitness, we'll try to bring it to you in 5 minutes or less. Thank you so much,
Thank
Krissy,
you.
for Lady Yoga. Thank you so much. Namaste. We'll see you here next Thursday. You're so amazing. Oh my God. You want to make me have a child. Anyone single? I'm available.
We'll just implant.
I know, right?
Or